Jags quarterback Blake Bortles, trash.
You know, I've heard a lot of stuff. I imagine the stuff that I didn't see, somebody told me. I'm sure there's things out there that, you know, I have no idea about, you know, but I could care less. You know, if how, you know, we're playing and how I'm playing is, you know, if that's trash, then I'm fine with being trash.
On NFL news today out of Green Bay, the Packers have ruled out receiver Devontae Adams for Saturday night against the Vikings due to a concussion. Bad news for the LA Rams. They lost one of their biggest weapons down the stretch, kicker Greg Zuerlein, who has the most points in the NFL this season. And now his season is over due to a herniated disc in his back. Former Penn State kicker Sam Ficken will now take over on Sunday. Sean McVay and the Rams will try to clinch their first NFC West title since 2003, which they can do with a win at Tennessee.
We haven't gotten into the playoffs, so we don't talk about that, but we know that if we're able to win this game, then winning the division then means that. But for us right now, our sole focus and concentration is on finding a way to go try to get a win against a tough opponent who's got a lot to play for as well.
And the Titans will be looking to snap a 2-game losing streak, and after missing the last 2 games with a sore knee, Kristaps Porzingis is expected to be back tonight when the Knicks host the Celtics.
Still feel it just a bit, just a tiny bit, but I think this kind of injury, I'm going to feel it for a little bit maybe, you know, and it's nothing bad. I just have to make sure, you know, the knee is stable and I'm feeling stable on the court. I can't have the instability sensation, you know, that's not good.
Also tonight, LeBron and the Cavs will host the Bulls, who are riding a 7-game winning streak. I'm Jeff Biggs, NBC Sports Radio.
All right, I'm Marky Bilson here on Tri-City Sports Now. Pulling that down, that music right there. Do we have someone on the... No, we don't have somebody on the phone line right now. It's like, I'm getting this thing. Who is on the line with you and all that? No one that I know of right now. But if you would like to call in, I ask that you call in during breaks at 423-743-6124. 423-743-6124. I've got a book here to give away, actually, or John McEnroe, so I'm thinking of doing that. This one just came out this summer, made a lot of noise. John McEnroe, but seriously, so I'm trying to get that. Let's see here. I was discussing a little bit about recruits and such. I did want to mention one thing. They were supposed to have on Jerry Bonkowski talking a little bit about the NASCAR off-season, and we're going to have to push that back to next week. He is having some health troubles, and I want to wish all the best to Jerry Bonkowski. Of course, it's been a tough year for me. I've lost a lot of loved ones. I keep reading on Facebook, you know, people dying. Quit dying. You know, holidays, time for friends and family and, you know, being together and experiencing and all this. And so, you know, I will look to it and just, I'll remember last Christmas, the last one that I'll have with my grandparents, and just, you know, spending the evening. It was quiet. I mean, they're in their 90s and all this, but one last time to play cards with them. No, we didn't play with money. Come on here. The assisted living facility in Florida, not Atlantic City here, okay? You know, but nevertheless, you know, just memories like that. You know, being around myself, watching the Steeler game, certainly. The Steelers play again on Christmas, by the way. They play the Texans, and they are going to be having their game broadcast by Mike Tirico. And Mike Tirico will be broadcasting his second straight Steelers game on Christmas. I actually had Mike Tirico on. I actually asked him about that off the air. Like, Mike, what do you do on the holidays? I mean, do you take your family with you to Pittsburgh there, and after the game you open up gifts and you bring them back? No, actually we celebrate a different day, you know. Open it up on the 24th or something. And I just thought that was kind of interesting. Still, I will tell you this. There is some big news here. Did anybody see Inside the NFL? I know it's HBO, and so not everybody gets HBO, but those who do, oftentimes they rave about it, and I would hope it's not for something like, you know, seeing Beastmaster 17 times or whatever. But I would point out that they got that show Inside the NFL, once synonymous with Len Dawson, but now, you know, the real hard-hitting opinion, an inside talk, and there was a lot of, they replayed the final series of downs in which Ben Roethlisberger was intercepted against the New England Patriots, And right at the end, the New England Patriots were able to hold on and beat the Steelers. You may remember there was some question about should the Steelers spike the ball and then kick a field goal to send the ball into overtime. I don't have a problem with running the play that they did. Now, let's see here. I think I've got, if we would like to hear this, I think that we do have Mike Tomlin talking about, well, let's see here. I'm trying to find the cut of the ball game and the actual interception. If I can get that, we may have that on, do we have that on a play-by-play? We do not have that on a play-by-play. We don't have a play? We thought we did. All right, we don't have it on a play-by-play. Come on, we ought to have that. We don't. All right. All right. Not that big of a deal. But anyway, the final, the idea was that there were not 2 plays called in the huddle, which is what you're supposed to do in that situation. First one doesn't make it. Okay, this is our salvage play. We're going to run that. And then certainly a quarterback can audible. I realize the Steelers didn't have any timeouts, that their, time is of the essence. And so to get a play in was really, really, that's standard 101. In fact, Mike Tomlin had to answer questions. Hey, why didn't you spike the ball in that situation?
We wanted to try to win that game in regulation. We knew that, a spike, a fake spike, an incomplete pass, and then you're running your field goal unit out. There were extra seconds there that I wanted to take advantage of. That's why we instructed him not to spike it.
Hey, I buy that. But what about this on Inside the NFL where it's clearly obvious you didn't have 2 plays called? Clearly obvious. You think Bill Belichick wouldn't have 2 plays called? You think Tom Brady wouldn't? This is one of the things. I mean, when you look at it, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have the best wide receiver in the game named Antonio Brown. Now, some people might try to argue, what about Odell Beckham? He's pretty, just listen to the trio of talent on offense that they have, okay? Antonio Brown, if he's not the best, then he's in the top 2. Le'Veon Bell at running back. If he's not the best, then he's in the top 2. One of these guys. All right, even, although he just went on IR, a James Conner to back him up. D'Angelo Williams turned to broadcasting this year because he could no longer, and D'Angelo Williams still had football left in him, in my opinion, but he couldn't crack the Steelers. Just, too much talent there. You have Ben Roethlisberger, who, interception at the end aside, I mean, who throws better into double coverage than Roethlisberger, really? All of this, and yet the Steelers always seem to underachieve. Now, that might be saying much for a team that right now is 11-3. A lot of teams would like to underachieve like that. But I'm not sure that the Steelers don't have the best talent in the league. I just wonder if they're getting the best use out of that talent. Not calling 2 plays in the huddle and that, and I mean, that, might cost them ultimately a trip to the Super Bowl. I'm not big on, you got to play on the road, you got to play at home, like I said. I mean, the Patriots obviously were able to handle Pittsburgh fans yelling at them. I think the Steelers should be able to handle New England Patriot fans yelling at them at Gillette Stadium. That's the least of your worries, I really think. Oh, they're loud here. I've been to NFL practices. They pipe in sound. They actually prepare for this. It's okay, really, okay? I mean, and jet lag, no, I'm sorry, it's all on the East Coast. I understand the concept of home field advantage. I understand the stats of home field advantage. But when push comes to shove, I really just don't think that it's that huge of a factor of, oh, they'll be yelling at the other team. Usually in the NFL, you can handle that. I'm repeating myself a million times. So, home field advantage, not that big of a deal, I think, especially if you're going to get the bye. But still, well, you'd rather be at home, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? And doesn't look like there'll be that anymore. Steelers got to play the Houston Texans, and then they finish up with the Browns. 2 games they got to win. Pat's got to finish up with the Bills and the Jets, and really they ought to win those 2 games too. But the Bills do pose something of a challenge. It's a team that's going to be trying to make the playoffs, so they will have, motivation. I mean, the Browns will have motivation not to go 0-16 and to keep their jobs, for crying out loud. But they will. There's an element there that's that should be a competitive game, even though it's about a 2-touchdown favorite. That the Patriots. Last I looked at the line, I haven't looked at it in a couple of days, but last I looked at the line, it was 12 points. So. Anyway, but I'm just saying the Bills could potentially give the Patriots a game. They shut out the Patriots last year. Of course, that was third-string quarterback playing for the Patriots, too. And yet the Colts wanted him so badly. They can't wait for Andrew Luck to come back. Hey, did want to mention this. We've been talking a little bit about yesterday the MLS expansion in Nashville. And I do realize that's the state. My take on this, I mean, frankly, although we did all get behind the Predators, I always talk about, are the Titans really the team of the area? They're 300 miles away. I had one local sports writer, Wade Littleton, like Wade. He was actually lamenting that the Titans and 49ers weren't played on TV locally, that it was instead the Steelers and Patriots. I got to go with the local TV channel here. I got to go with JHL here. I mean, really, Steelers, Patriots, that's the game. I mean, and I know the Titans may make the playoffs this year, but no, that's the game. I mean, that was the biggest game of the NFL, and it lived up to the hype. And if we were in Nashville, that's one thing. I get that if we're in Nashville. I get it if we're in Murfreesboro. In Johnson City, Steelers, Patriots. You're 300 miles away. You're 400 miles from Pittsburgh. At this time, what difference does it really make? I mean, there are parts of the market, I'm sure, if we go north and up 81, say probably around Marion or so, you're actually closer to Pittsburgh than you are Nashville. So if you want to talk about a home team, and Marion is in the local TV market. So there's that as well. And if I'm off a mile or two, just sue me. But I am excited about it because I want to know what's going to happen to that USL team. Is it going to stay in Nashville? Or is it going to get relocated? If it's going to get relocated, I want to talk to the soccer community around here about, let's do this. Let's get Tri-Cities. Let's get this on the map. Speculation, it's just a dream of mine, but I want that dream to come true. I want to use this here microphone as a bully pulpit. One sad note, though, about the MLS coming to Nashville is the redevelopment, I would say, of the area where there's going to be the new stadium. This was pushed for by local political leaders, but it's the fairgrounds, the state fairgrounds. Could open the stadium by 2021. I think the team is scheduled to play. Is it scheduled to play? The USL is scheduled to play in Nashville this year, but I think the Nashville expansion would be in 2020. Anyway, Ellen Hobbs-Lyles, chancellor, on Monday dismissed a lawsuit filed in Tennessee's Chancery's 20th Judicial District by a group called Save Our Fairgrounds and 11 individuals. They were attempting to obtain court orders blocking a stadium to preserve the site for a state fair, auto racing, and regular flea markets. There's a track there, I think that there's a track there, and it dates back to 1904. But I also, and I've talked about this on the show, the cultures. Are we seeing a cultural change? Right here in Tennessee. I mean, distinctly American sports. What is more distinctly American than stock car racing? Don't give me the Toyota runs in it. You know where I'm going with this. What is more distinctly American than stock? Baseball, maybe? American football? Okay, I'll listen to that. But, I mean, you have Fords and Chevys on the track, I mean, something to be said for that. And for how long in the development stages of NASCAR racing was this looked upon as our brand of racing? Oh, maybe the better drivers are in Indy, not anymore, but maybe the better drivers are in Indy, but or Formula One, but They got the grinding, the hitting, you know, the best racing, that's the stock car race. Everybody knows that. The best racing's on the track, you know. I do like Watkins Glen. I really like it. I like the occasional road course. It's a good diversion, something different. Just like, I mean, I like chocolate, but every now and then I want to have vanilla or strawberry. And I really like my vanilla and strawberry when I get it. So I do like Watkins Glen and all. But yeah, it's always distinctly American. Soccer is not distinctly American. Anything but. But, yeah, you're seeing now in Nashville, of all places, a home of distinctly American country music, a fairgrounds, a racetrack, likely being redeveloped now. Likely, I mean, what's going to stop it? For a soccer stadium. Times they are changing. Bristol Spring Race doesn't sell out anymore. 11%, the ratings are down from what they were before in NASCAR. They've got to look at some things and try to, you know, and I've talked a little bit about the cultures and all that. But I think that things are changing. Maybe not always to the better. I like America having distinctly American sports. I've always theorized if that's why, you know, hockey is so big in the Boston and the Massachusetts and the Detroit and the Pittsburgh and the New York, and growing nationally, but growing because there are more American players now, too. And, but no, you know, you don't get that that's a Canadian sport. I love it, but you get it's a Canadian sport. Maybe that's why some pockets of the country have never really embraced it. That's changing. Hockey's getting more popular, so is soccer. Hey, next half hour, I am going to tell you what football games you're going to watch on TV this Sunday on Christmas Eve, but then I am also going to tell you that, you know, the NCAA, they might have to pay more in taxes because the event's going on in Washington. Tell you about that on Tri-City Sports Now after this.
It means trust. For over 60